I'm Brad Weber, President of Inspiring Apps.
Brian Mon, Chief Marketing Officer and Chief Innovation Officer for Fidelity National Financial.
I'm Jason Nadeau. I'm the Chief Digital Officer here at Fidelity National Financial.
We're here to talk about inHere today. Could you provide a little introduction as to what the product is?
inHere is an experience platform designed to create more transparent, more user-friendly real estate transactions. So think about a residential transaction from open to close. That's primarily where we've decided to build some technology to make that easier for both the professional and the buyers and the sellers who are involved.
And in addition to all the things Brian said about making the experience better about buying a home and transacting a home, a key component of the inHere platform is also to bring greater security to the platform and to help protect the consumers that are doing the largest or possibly the largest financial transaction of their life.
Can you talk a little bit more about that security?
Absolutely. So one of the things that's been interesting is real estate transactions for a very long time have been local, and they still are local. Somebody's buying a house in their small town. And fraud has always been a problem. There have always been bad actors in all financial transactions. But one of the things that has happened over the last 10 years is as we've gone digital as an industry, we've introduced bad actors from outside the industry. Now all of a sudden you've got people from around the world that can attempt to impersonate people in the transaction. And so one of the things that we were seeing happening in our industry is people were stepping in and they were impersonating professionals in the transaction. Somebody was pretending to be a real estate agent, somebody was pretending to be somebody at the bank or whatnot. And they were using those impersonation models to try and convince a consumer to send their money to the wrong place, wire their money to the wrong place, wire their deposit the wrong place. And we were seeing consumers who were losing their life savings, frankly. We were seeing people that were getting online. So part of the inHere platform was to bring a single trusted platform for all participants in the transaction, but really important to the consumer, one single online place where they can come and they can transact and they can verify information. And if they do get contacted by somebody who appears to be a fraudster or whatnot, they know that they have this single secure online platform for them.
So how is progress going toward your business objectives that you just talked about?
Well, very well. We've had the opportunity to roll it out to our title partners, the title companies within F&F. We've touched millions of transactions. We've had success in, I think, mitigating some of those early stage risks that are out there. There's obviously more work to be done, but if you look at success being fewer potential points of failure where fraud could happen or fraud could be introduced or an unfamiliar party could potentially influence a buyer or seller, it's been successful as we've seen it. In addition, the natural byproduct of bringing consumers and professionals to an online location through inHere is that we're making the transaction a little more transparent and user-friendly. And so by making it more secure and by helping it be more transparent, we have a better user experience. And we've seen that happen. Again, there's more to go, but I think it's been well received.
The one thing that I like to point out is the real estate transaction is a little unique, right? So when we talk about bringing it to an online, bringing it to a digital transaction, that's not a unique thing, right? Certainly many industries and all of us have done many things online. What's unique about the real estate industry and what's unique about inHere is it's not a simple two-party transaction. It's not I order something online on Amazon and I get it. It's not I order my pizza and I track it and I get it, right? You've got buyers and sellers, usually 2 or 3 buyers, 2 or 3 sellers. You've got real estate agents on both sides of the transactions, and you have abstractors and appraisers and inspectors and loan officers, and you have all of these participants in this transaction. They're all having to collaborate together electronically online to be successful. So it is a very complicated transaction that seems like something as simple as digital would be quite easy to do, but actually it took quite a while to get the industry to the point where we could adopt this type of technology.
Talk a little bit about the expansion of the product. This is something that we've been working on together for years, and you've added things like integration with Breakthrough Broker. Can you talk about that and maybe some other things that you're doing to benefit the realtors?
Our vision within here has been to bring all the components necessary to provide this experience during a transaction. But it's obvious that not all the parties in a transaction are involved every day in that type of, hey, where are we? What's the status? What's the document? What's the milestone that we're meeting? One of the things that we've worked hard on is trying to build out some capabilities that are in between the transactions as a way to continue to build that muscle memory so that when you do have a purchase transaction or you are working with one of the title companies that are using inHere, that it's become familiar with you to continue to reach back out and interact with the inHere experience platform. An example of that is an integration that we've done, and we've created Breakthrough inHere. Breakthrough inHere is an opportunity for real estate professionals to kind of receive bite-sized best practices, nudges, if you will, from some of the best coaches, trainers, agents in the industry. Things that they can kind of pick up and use right away. It's something they can work with in between a transaction. We're also working on what's called Live inHere, which is a home ownership portal. Again, trying to extend that relationship beyond just the transaction from open to close, but to give real estate professionals and home owners an online location where that relationship can continue post-transaction or maybe even before the transaction starts, since that's their target, right? Bring a homeowner online, help them have an ownership portal, connect the real estate agent and build that relationship and kind of do sphere marketing in a different, maybe better way. So those are two areas that we have and are working on, in addition to other solutions that, again, kind of, if you think about the circle, open to close to open again, anything that relates to that real estate transaction that might be a way to facilitate a relationship between a potential buyer or seller and a real estate agent, we kind of want to insert a wedge into that experience platform that we've created.
Fidelity has a number of products, a number of business divisions. You have your own design and development teams for some of those products. Tell me a little bit about that thought process and what motivated you to look for a partner outside of Fidelity for inHere.
I think there was a couple things. The first was we're a real estate company first and foremost, and we operate under a lot of different brands, 50 plus brands around the country, 2,000 operations. People were very proud of those brands, and they were used to operating in that market with the name that they operated on. And when we wanted to bring in a single experience platform, we knew we needed to do something innovative and different, because we needed to have it be something that they would be comfortable embracing, using with their customers that maybe didn't have their logo on it, right? And so in creating the inHere experience platform, this is how we ended up together. We looked for somebody who had a lot of experience outside of the real estate industry, somebody that could bring us ideas and innovation from other industries that maybe we were not thoughtful. We do a very good job, I think, of trying to be innovative in our space and watching what other competitors are doing, but there's just so many hours in the day. We're not spending a lot of time looking at other industries that may be parallel or other industries. When we made the decision to look at an outside help or assistance on that project and specifically come work with you, part of it was to bring fresh ideas to us that we'd not worked with, but second of all was to solve this problem we had, which is how do we create such a compelling new online experience platform that our operations would be comfortable, rallying around a new brand, a new way of appearing to the marketplace.
We're really grateful that the relationship had come to be and has blossomed, I suppose, over the years. And it's been fun to watch it in the time to go from just an idea when the three of us were talking about this years ago to recently being showcased in a quarterly earnings call. Can you talk a little bit about where inHere's place is at the Fidelity and in the strategy of the business at this point?
Yeah, great question. We like to think that it's a very, very important part
of course
of the strategy, but in reality it is. Fidelity National Financial has a number of pursuits relative to technology, as you mentioned. inHere, as a separate entity within the Fidelity family of companies, is designed to provide a specific set of services, product features, capabilities to title companies, real estate professionals, buyers and sellers. We think that that is evolving. We think that the way that consumers are informed regarding how they expect an experience to be is something that continues to evolve, and we have to meet them where they're at. The inHere project, if you think about it, started really with us trying to solve the problem of how do we build more transparency and yet mitigate risk. Where it has moved to is seeing that there is a lot of opportunity in kind of pulling into this environment, into this ecosystem, into this platform, tools and components that should be together as opposed to dispersed in other apps or other capabilities, or I have to go hunt for information. Let's start to bring it all in here. That continues to be more and more important as people are catching a hold of that vision of we can make it easier, we can make it more convenient, we can make the transaction smoother, and even in between the transaction, a better experience for all the parties involved by bringing things into the platform.
I think the other thing that's been an interesting evolution for us is at its core, we are a services business, right? So we perform a very valuable service, and then we issue insurance. We help people get into their homes and we protect people's homes, but it's a core service business. And I think that one of the things that you all have helped us understand is as the world is going more and more digital, there really isn't a place for a services only business anymore, right? You're a services business and a technology business. And I think we spent a lot of our 30-year history as a company building technology to support the service, right? So how do we have technology that helps our employees, our staff provide better service to the operations? And working with you all, we've learned and evolved. Now we're talking on our earnings call about the success of our platform. It's because the success of our platform is an extension of our service, right? So we've moved from supporting people doing service to having the online experience, the digital experience become part of that service platform and be part of what consumers just experience. And that's what we've learned working with you all is how do you build a great experience, right? You helped us take what we had a lot of pride in as a company, which is exceptional service when you walked in the door to our office. How do we have that same level of exceptional service when you open that door to that online portal and to those online apps and bring that same experience online? And so we're talking about it now, not because the technology is all that fundamentally more important than all the technology we've had in the company. It's just now part and parcel with our service.
That makes sense.
Well, and if I might add, I think that is a major reason why working with Inspiring Apps and you and your team has been so important for us is because if you think about, we've had a lot of experience building back office solutions for the people that service our clients. Well, when you start to extend that forward and you create a friend of the office, a front door experience for people, it requires a different level of partnership, expertise, design, even the way that we architect the technology. And I think Inspiring Apps has helped us accomplish the vision, but it wouldn't have worked as easily as it did or even as well as it did had we tried to just kind of go that on our own. We needed your expertise to partner with us.
That's kind of you to say.
We spent a lot of years building technology to support our folks providing the service, and we know our industry very, very well. We believe we are the market leader, and we believe that we're good at what we do. However, that in itself blinds you to what you do, right? We see through the lens of sitting on this side of the camera, providing that service out to that customer. And so by having somebody like yourself come in and partner with us, we're able to get a fresh insight into what it's really like to interact with our business from the outside world without all the predefined knowledge that we all have about how things work. One of the things that you all brought to the partnership that we really enjoyed was the questions, right? That why question, right? A lot of times we had assumptions that were based upon the way our business works, based upon the way our company was set up, or based upon the way legacy systems we had worked. And we would project that forward into our digital experiences because we knew that this is the way they needed to be because of the way things work behind the curtain. Your team's very good about asking why and challenging us on why. Like that's not maybe what the consumer, the person on the street really is going to experience. We bring our own frame to it. And so by working with somebody like yourself who's outside of our world, but also worked with other clients, you're able to ask those hard questions and challenge us because those assumptions get baked in to the way you do business. And so it's been very helpful from that standpoint. It really helps us challenge the way we think.
I think that's something we do well, frankly. I'm glad you find value in it. I appreciate that. We had some objective measure of the success of our partnership, and that in here was honored by Fast Company magazine as part of their Innovation by Design Awards in the security category. That was really meaningful for us. We're really proud of it. I hope that you are as well.
We definitely are, and I will say that I don't know that if you'd asked me 5 years ago when we started this journey was software that we were going to be producing as part of our organization was going to be award-winning software, I would have never believed you. Honestly, I thought we built great software. We built sort of fit-for-purpose software that was great for our industry and great for our staff, but certainly not award-winning when compared to some of the other cool things that I often saw and interacted with in there. And now, frankly, looking back, I can see why it did. It's a great product and it's been a great partnership, but I certainly would not have thought that that was possible, would you?
I knew it was going to happen.
That's probably a great place to wrap up. Thank you both for your time and providing your insights. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks.